For the latest news and updates on Tibet, subscribe to Yarloon YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the notification bell icon.
For hosting us. I'm in Boston area, which is Saturday morning. Instead of having a relaxed weekend, I felt it's very important to participate in the event. Number one, because so many organizations related to Hong Kong are coming together to observe, June 4th, which is very important date, given the tragedy of the Tiananmen Square. And I could see my, brother-in-arms, Nathan, Nuri, and Pao, and others are here. I hope we will have some sisters also joining, at least the moderator is sister. And, this is very important for us. Instead of talking simply about Tibet, I want to perhaps broaden the issue by saying, we are fighting for democracy. And I do believe the war in Ukraine is a turning point in this global, trajectory towards democracy, because Freedom House has come out with a report which says that, for 16 consecutive years, there is regression of freedom. And also democracy is regressing in the last 2 decades. If you look at Venezuela, Maduro, and Afghanistan, 20 years of nation building, democratic building, $2 trillion spent, but collapsed in, 20 days. But all these, the regression of freedom and regression of democracy, I think the war in Ukraine has put us the world on a spot, and that what an autocrat or a dictator could and can do, the abuse of power. The Lord Acton said in the 19th century, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. What Putin is doing in Ukraine is a clear sign. There is an abuse of power and invasion in broad daylight of an independent sovereign country of Ukraine. Now, our heart goes out to people who are suffering in Ukraine. They are fighting very bravely. Every day, according to President Zelensky, anywhere from 50 to 100 Ukrainians are dying. And every day 300 to 500 Ukrainians are getting wounded in war to defend their dignity and to defend their democracy. That's the price Ukrainians are paying. And today happens to be the 100th day of war in Ukraine. Now, with that, I think the global, the divide in the world between autocrats and democrats, I think there's a clear choice. So far, I think, rest of the world felt that, you can do business with autocrat and sometimes ignore human rights and freedom struggles. For example, our Uyghur brothers and sisters, the Hong Kongers, the Tibetans, the Taiwanese, the Mongols, we've been saying and, arguing that you can't have an appeasement policy towards autocrats. You must stand up for basic principles for freedom and human rights and democracy all along, It's not like, you have either or choice. And many in Europe felt, you can do business with Putin with all the gas, the import of gas and the petrol, all that. Now, suddenly there's realization in Europe that, you simply cannot have an appeasement policy and do business and get along with an autocrat, right? I mean, that was the lesson of the Second World War too. Many say that the Prime Minister Chamberlain had an appeasement towards Hitler, and he got emboldened, and that led to the Second World War. So I think the Europe is learning, and unified Europe to come to defend democracy in Ukraine is a pivotal moment. And we all should rally around this and send a clear message. Yes, there has been regression of freedom. There has been regression of democracy in the last 2 decades. But this is a turning point. And we, the activists, I've been an activist and I've been an academic, I've been a leader or politician for the last 3 some decades now. So I can say with some, legitimacy that I've seen from all 3 angles how geopolitics and realpolitik function. Now is the moment for democracy to push forward. And that is why I feel today's event, organized by so many Hong Kong related groups, democracy advocates in Prague, is very important. Because Václav Havel wrote Charter 77 and it became a reality, right? In Czech Republic, as well as in general, Eastern European countries. Now, our, brother in arms, unfortunately, who passed away late, wrote Charter 08, which we all must, push forward and advocate freedom for Hong Kong, Taiwan, Mongolians, Uyghurs, and Chinese brothers and sisters. And in that context, all of us coming together in one place, even though we all are coming together virtually, it is very important because one, scheme or strategy the Chinese government is very good at is divide and rule. So I could see so many Hong Kong groups coming together. This is very important. Now, if they could have an umbrella organization of all Hong Kong groups, like Tibetans, we have Central Tibet Administration, under great leadership and vision of His Holiness Dalai Lama, like the Uyghurs have World Uyghur Congress, Similarly, if all the Hong Kongers could have a similar umbrella organization, and all of us, the victims of autocratic system, coming together and sharing our experience is very, very, very important. So I've been to Prague many times, and they know the issue of Tibet very well. So I did not elaborate that more than 150 some Tibetans have committed self-immolations, burned themselves, as recently as 2 months ago, 2 of them, right? So situation in Tibet is tragic, and our situation is as tragic as our brothers and sisters of Uyghur brothers and sisters or Mongolians, right? And similarly, Hong Kongers. And that's why we all have to be vigilant about what is going to happen in Taiwan as well, because it's very likely in 2024, DPP is likely to win again. If that happens, then the trend of people in Taiwan is that they are embracing democracy fully. And that will be a similar situation of Zelensky winning election in Ukraine. And that put some pressure on Putin to act on, like he's acting on with war in Ukraine. What will happen in Taiwan post 2024 election? So when that happens, if that happens, what should we do? I say this not with confidence, but with concern, because in November of 2019, at Halifax Security Forum, with Emily Lau and Figo Chan, they were the recipient of the award. I said the same thing. November, I said by Christmas, Chinese government act in Hong Kong, and the rest of the world, what will they do? They will issue press releases, they will have parliamentary resolutions and statement of support, and then nothing much will happen, So I was early by 6 months. By June of 2020, 6 months later, you can ask Emily Lau, and my friend Dorkom Issa was also there in that panel. It was closed door panel. It happened. So unfortunately, with brothers and sisters of Hong Kong, you all are in exile like us. We've been there a lot longer than you all, but we have some experience, good and bad, that we can share with you all. With that in mind, I think all of us coming together and speaking out about freedom and democracy and showing solidarity is very, very important. So good to see Nathan Law and all others, Hong Kong groups at the venue. I'm the best, and our solidarity and support is with you all the time. So with that, I'll end, and then looking forward to hearing other co-panelists.